Hello class, this is going to be a video on how to use Synecdoche for the purposes of the AP Literature exam. So what exactly is Synecdoche? Synecdoche is a literary device in which a part of something represents the whole, or it may use a whole to represent a part. That'll make a bit more sense later. My definition here was taken from Merriam-Webster, and the examples I'm going to have later were taken from the websites Lit Charts and Literary Devices, so you can use that if you guys feel like studying further. And the purpose of Synecdoche is that it mirrors everyday language or slang, which can help the author connect to the audience better. It sounds a lot better when they're using phrases that are more common or natural. So Synecdoche is heavily connected with metonymy, but it is important that you do know the difference between the two. Synecdoche is a more specific version of metonymy. They are both used to replace words by having different things represent them, but the difference is that metonymy will connect to the word in a more abstract way. It does not have to be a part of the whole or a whole of the part. It'll make a bit more sense later, but basically metonymy is something that is understood either culturally or contextually to mean something else without actually saying that word. So here we have some hypothetical examples of Synecdoche. The first one is we need to get boots on the ground. The boots here stands in for the soldiers. The soldiers are wearing the boots, thus it is an actual part of the soldiers. The next example is I have 4 mouths to feed at home. Mouths here refers to people, as a mouth is a part of a person, thus making it Synecdoche. You are not feeding detached mouths. That is not what that sentence means. Then finally we have nice wheels, and that's wheels stand in for a car there, and the wheels are a part of the car, thus making it Synecdoche again and not metonymy. If this is sounding repetitive, that is a good thing and you're catching on to what Synecdoche is. One of my personal favorite examples of Synecdoche is in the song Super Rich Kids by Frank Ocean, where the lyric, "Too many bowls of that green, no lucky charms." Frank Ocean uses green as a stand-in for weed, and if that sounds outlandish, then you have a way to remember it now. And while the other examples are great, they are not likely to reflect the type of diction we're going to see on the AP exam itself, so here we have some Synecdoche merit examples from either merited books or books from merited authors. The first example we have is, "So the whole ear of Denmark is by a forged process of my death, rankly abused." That is from Hamlet by William Shakespeare. Here, the whole ear of Denmark is referring to the people of Denmark, as they all have ears which they need for hearing, these not speaking to separated ears. The next example is, "The eyes around had wrung them dry," from I Heard a Fly Buzz When I Died by Emily Dickinson. The eyes here are referring to people, not actual eyes. It is referring to the people's judgment. And finally, we have "Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears," from the Tragedy of Julius Caesar by William Shakespeare again. And yet again we have "lend me your ears," ears being used as a Synecdoche for listening, as humans have ears and use them to listen. Finally, it would be good to discuss the AP context behind Synecdoche. If you are still confused between the difference between metonymy and Synecdoche, you don't need to worry, because the two are similar enough to where you will seldom, if ever, find them on the same multiple choice question as different answers. And on the off chance that you do find Synecdoche or metonymy in the analysis essays, metonymy is going to be your safer bet just because it has a broader definition and you're going to want to use that one because it's easier to back up. Unless the example in the text is as specific as ears, mouth, or anything else connected to the actual word. And that's about all there is for Synecdoche. Hopefully this lesson was substantial enough and you guys will remember it into the future and use it on your essays.